You can flip to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. I want to continue talking about the Spirit of the Lord. I want to talk about Spirit-led living. I think a lot of Christians will shy away from, following the Spirit because of their impression of what a Spirit-led Christian looks like. And I think that we sometimes think those Spirit-led Christians, those Spirit-led people, we think of them as the nut jobs, the wacky ones, the whack jobs, the head cases, the weirdos, I think that's the way we. I'm talking theology, so I try to put this in layman's terms. We think that Spirit-led people are weirdos, and that it causes us to not want to be one of those people. I want to talk about what I think Spirit-led living actually looks like, and the way we should see it. Maybe see it a little differently. I'll get right to it then, since you guys are ready. I see that you're primed up, ready to roll. Let's move on. Ready? All right. Point one. I think people often look at those Spirit-led people, and sometimes we think they look like fools. I think we read scriptures about Spirit-led people, and we say, those guys are cool and great, and we look up to them. We say, I wish I could be like this guy or that guy. But then the people that, live amongst us who we think of as Spirit-led, we think, I don't want to be like that person because they look like a fool. I want to consider the story in Acts chapter 2 when, it's not chapter 2, I'm sorry, in Acts, wherever it is, where Philip is led to go down to the desert road, right? So Philip goes down to the desert road, and then he preaches to a guy who is riding by on a chariot, and the guy gets saved. And we read that and we think, man, that Philip, I wish I could be more like Philip. But I would suggest that if you kind of look at it the way it really probably looked, you might change your opinion, and that would be wrong. But anyway, first of all, Philip is doing something somewhere, probably with some other people. I imagine he's not just by himself, and he feels led for no good reason to go down to the desert road, and he doesn't at that moment have any more insight than that. I feel like God's telling me to go down to the desert road. He probably says to a group of people, you being one of them. And apparently, the group of people that he was with, if he was with a group of people, said, whatever, Philip, go on, get out of here. I'm not going down the desert road. That's a dumb idea. Why go down to the desert road, Philip? Oh, I don't know. I just feel like the Lord wants me to go down to the desert road. All right, well, we're staying here because your idea is silly. And off he goes down to the desert road. Then he's standing by the road watching traffic go by. And then he feels like he needs to speak to one guy that's riding by in a wagon, in a chariot or whatever. And the guy's riding